wouldn't say didn't have it. You know, gave up what, a couple broken bat singles. We talk a lot about winning the first inning. You know, it doesn't mean you score 3 runs and they don't, or 1 run they don't. Thought the first hitter, you know, put a little semi-negative feel to it with as many pitches. I think he had 10 or 11 foul balls in the first inning. And the first hitter, it wasn't the first hitter first inning, but Gardner had a big at bat there, and you know, you say there's a bunch of outs, a lot of game after that, but kind of put a little, you know, unless he could catch up an inning or two, it was going to be a challenge for him. But I thought the first at bat of the game, he gave up. It's one of the big differences between major leagues and AAA. Is you make really good pitches and they tick them off, and then you get 2 or 3, or in his case 4 pitches that could have been strikes, but you know, it doesn't matter if you're hunting balls or strikes because there's so many pitches you can call either way over the course of a game. So I thought Kevin's stuff was pretty good. He struck out 3 guys in the first inning, just wasn't his day.
During the course of the series, you guys pitched Judge real carefully, walked him a number of times.
Not intentionally.
Yeah, but in the first inning, obviously, there's a guy at second, nobody out. I mean, nobody on at first and 2 outs. Is there any consideration of pitching around him there?
No, I don't know about it. I think he's trying to make a lot better pitch than he did. He threw exactly where he didn't want to throw it. You know, people wonder a lot when you have guys, and he's had his struggles. You know, he's been a guy that a lot of people have been trying to pitch to for about a month or so. So you got to keep that in mind. But we, you know, you wonder sometimes. I remember I used to see it with, I don't want to get into names and have to compare him to it, but you wonder why those mistakes are made to those guys, and then you see an 8 or 9 hole hitter and they're painting the black and everything's because the anxiety of the power drives some mistakes to be made. So we get the ball, as you've seen later in the game, we get the ball where we're supposed to get it. You know, he'll do similar things that he's been doing, but if you get the ball in the wrong place, so you know, you got some confidence that people get the ball in the right place. That 2-run homer certainly didn't beat us.
When you came home from the West Coast a few weeks ago, a lot was made that you guys were going to play 16 out of 19 at home. You did, you know, pretty well. You're 12-7 over those 19 games.
I was wondering what it was coming in today. I didn't look.
Yeah. I mean, are you? Does that 12-7 give you confidence that the rest of the way can be as good as that, and could that get you where you need to go?
Well, obviously the opposition will have something to say about that. You know, you're playing one of, if not the best team in the American League the next 3 days, and you're going into Toronto, obviously a good club at home, and have that potential, and then back to New York. So, you know, it's there for us. It's still there for us. We're going to have a little help because, you know, if you won every game you played, somebody's got to lose. So you control some things, but you don't. But you know, I think everybody, we've stayed engaged in the competition, and it's still there. I still think it's going to be there for us, but it's going to be hard.
On the flip side of that, how frustrating is it? You know, after the 7-game win streak, you know, you lose 4 of 7 at home, and you know, you have a chance to seize it, and maybe you didn't. How difficult is that to kind of manage?
I mean, difficult to manage.
Well, I mean, just how hard is that? I mean, you guys, you know, had it in front of you there, and obviously
still do.
Lost 4.
I mean, we don't live in that negative world with those type of approaches and mentality. You can't, or this game will eat you up. You know, the Yankees are a pretty good team. You know, and they've added pieces like Sonny Gray and Frazier and Robertson, and you know, so they've gotten even better. So, you know, like I've said before, the competition is ourselves as much as anything, and you know, we just got to. You know, we won those 7 games you're talking about in a row. We got some quality starting pitching, and when we didn't, in a couple of those games, we were able to make up for it in other areas. So that's going to have to get better, and we'll see.
When there are those days, like you mentioned, when the starts might not be there, but it ends up still being a competitive game.
Like night before last.
Yeah. What offensively is the difference to you? Do you see anything?
Sonny Gray.
Is that just kind of what it is as a pitcher?
He's one of the better pitchers in the American League. They go out and add him, and you know, it's a good pitcher. Every once in a while, you know, it's not that easy. Just to, you got to have the cooperation of them making mistakes and not having good pitchers out there. You see the arms they run out of the bullpen, and you know, so it's not easy hitting those guys. That's why they do what they do. This guy's, #1 starter for most people.
Since Kevin did seem to be throwing the ball well, he came into the game with 13 2/3 scoreless innings. Is that part of, you're talking about him, still a young pitcher, the issue of handling adversity, is that part of it in this game, or did they just?
I don't know if he didn't handle it well. He made a lot of stuff was fine. Made a lot of good pitches. When he did make a good pitch, they stuck it in somewhere or they fouled him off. He made a lot of pitches that what you get credit for is a foul ball, and that's part of pitching up here. Just couldn't quite put them away. He made a couple of pitches that could have been strike 3, but weren't. The stolen base is strike 3, and it goes from there. But I don't. Other than if his pitch count was too high in 3 innings for me to continue with him, so I have a tough time. I know it won't read well statistically, but I'm not going to sit here and throw Kevin's outing under the bus. We didn't do much offensively, and the credit goes to Sonny Gray, and they're running some big arms out of there.
I know it's just one at bat, but Hayes seemed to hang in there pretty well in the shadows. In the 9th inning, what did you think of how he presented
No, it's
himself?
funny. He's as advertised. He's up there slashing, and I think we got him 4 flat down the line on a jailbreak time. So, it's a good start for him. I was watching him in the outfield, just watching him move around. There's some familiarity. He seemed to handle the motion of his first at bat well, and it's a guy throwing 97 out of the shadows. I thought he presented himself well.